right now.
I would say stay optimistic. I think Wemby is going to be good.
It is the last thing you expected to hear today. Victor Wembanyama out for the remainder of the NBA season.
The Spurs announcing that this morning. Wemby was diagnosed with something called deep vein thrombosis, or a blood clot in his shoulder. The Spurs are saying that doctors are trying to figure out exactly how and why this happened. Now, we spoke with a vascular surgeon who you heard from a moment ago from Methodist Hospital, who sees athletes with DVT all the time.
We see athletes, specifically DVT in the arm, and we see it because they get some trauma in this area, the space between the clavicle and the first rib, and then they end up developing some compression there that causes that vein to clot. And the reason that he might be okay, if that's what he has, is that's a mechanical reason. It's not a blood reason.
Now, it is more common for people to get deep vein thrombosis in their legs. But either way, it's dangerous because clots could break loose, travel through the bloodstream, and reach the heart or the lungs. That's why the Spurs are being so cautious with Victor Wembanyama.
So we just want to say that doctor that you just heard from isn't treating Wemby, but we just wanted him on so that he can give you some perspective. So we have to go back to that moment, the shocker this morning when the team announced that he was out. And, you know, everywhere you went, anywhere you went, right, from social media to restaurants, Wemby was the talk of the town.
Everything changed at 11:45 this morning. And while we will miss Wemby, the player, for the rest of the year, the biggest concerns right now are about Wemby, the person, and his health. John Paul Barajas at a watch party tonight where the focus is on the big guy who's not on the court.
Get well soon. We're cheering for you.
Get well. The city loves you, clearly. I think you go around downtown and he has a mural every other block.
Keep your head up, and we still believe in you, no matter what.
Take it easy, get better, and then worry about basketball after that.
Let me set the stage. The Spurs are competitive again. The Spurs get a superstar in De'Aaron Fox. Wemby plays in his first NBA All-Star game. And then we get the devastating news. He's out for the entire season.
Definitely surprising.
The blood clot near your heart, and he's so young, and I just wish the best for him.
I was like, man, we got to wait till next season.
I'm definitely worried. This year kind of feels like, you know, a wash. Hopefully he recovers after.
I didn't believe it.
Just kind of sucks, really.
What is your hope for the future of Wemby and the future of the Spurs?
Very hopeful. He's going to come back. You know,
He's always going to be the future of the face of the San Antonio Spurs in San Antonio.
Well, as to be expected, it is a sad day in San Antonio and a sad time to have a Spurs watch party, but there is still a handful of Spurs faithful in attendance tonight. Everybody, can I get a go? Spurs, go! Go, Spurs, go! Still plenty of excitement for the season, but Wemby, from myself and from KSAT, we want to say get well soon, brother, and we cannot wait to see you get back and better than ever. We still have a lot of faith and hope in the Spurs and, of course, you, Victor Wembanyama. Steve, Stephania?
Thank you, John Paul. And yeah, get well wishes, well said, because it's no secret Wemby is beloved here in the Alamo City. So when our Garrett Berger took to the streets with his own get well card for Victor, just about everyone wanted to sign it.
Everybody's worried about, him playing basketball, but, right now it's just his life,
Wemby, I'm drinking for you, man. Get better, get well fast. We want you back.
Pull through, big guy. You got this. We're all counting on you, and we got your back.
That card is huge, okay?
Yeah.
Not as big as Wemby, but yeah, it's filled with signatures, well wishes. Now we just have to get it to the Spurs.
Did you sign it?
No, I did not.
I signed it. We'll get you. We'll get it. We'll get you on there.
All right.
By the way, in case you missed our Wemby live stream earlier today, we're going to replay that special immediately after the night beat at 10:35. We're going to speak with a doctor, a cardiologist this time, and hear from the Spurs' Chris Paul as well. You can watch it on KSAT Plus and KSAT.com. Again, it's streaming right after this newscast.
Okay, so let's talk about what's going to happen tomorrow, because if you step outside, whatever you did today to stay warm, you're going to have to do the same thing tomorrow.
Yeah, the cold staying with us for a few more days, as a matter of fact. For the latest, let's go to Adam Caskey. Adam, what's going to happen in Burr County?
Burr County. If you can't tell by my mood, I'm a little sick of this as well, this cold weather. We have until Sunday to really warm up. And I mean, we're probably not even going to hit 40 degrees until we get to Sunday. Mornings still below freezing. Tomorrow at freezing, Saturday morning. Then by Sunday morning, we're finally above freezing. Now, earlier today was a record breaker at 21 at the airport. That was a new record by 5 degrees. Temperatures not as quick to fall off tonight because we have that blanket of clouds over us. And we'll just trim off another 5-6 degrees compared to what we have right now. That's 34 at the airport now, 32 Bernie and Bandera, 36 Hondo, Nixon at 35. But notice that gradual temperature drop tonight. By 4 a.m., we're at 29 degrees here in town. 27 Rio Medina and Helotes, 29 in Converse. Not as bitterly cold tomorrow morning is what we had earlier today, which was record breaking, but still feeling the deep chill out there again. And like I said, we're not going to hit 40 degrees until Sunday, but we'll actually make it into the low 60s at that point. Tomorrow, stuck in the 30s again because of the low clouds in place. And notice a little bit of precipitation possible throughout the day. I anticipate slight chance of sleet pellets and then maybe even a little bit of freezing drizzle tomorrow evening and tomorrow night. We'll talk about any potential impacts and accumulations in just a bit.
Adam, thank you. Another news tonight, shot and killed on the side of the road. That is how the family of Gabriela Barrera says that she died just days ago.
It happened south of Highway 90 near General Hudnell Drive. San Antonio police found the 24-year-old Barrera shot, her vehicle damaged with multiple bullet holes. But what led up to this, still unknown.
Still the mystery. The night team's Avery Everett spoke with Barrera's grandmother tonight, and her hope is that somebody, anybody, will come forward with answers.
She was taken away needlessly for reasons we don't even know.
It's hard for Alma Hernandez to hold back tears, talking about her granddaughter Gabriela Barrera.
Nobody should die that way.
Barrera was only 24 years old when she was shot and killed while driving.
They need to pay for what they did to her. They need to.
Gabby died here just days ago, south of Highway 90 off General Hudnell. Police found her body inside of her car, shot multiple times. A small memorial was built by friends and family here off the side of the road.
How would you describe her to someone who didn't get the chance to meet her?
She was there to help as much as she could.
What's your message to the people who did this?
I hope they catch you, because you don't deserve to be free. My baby is not going to be free.
This family is calling on someone in our community to come forward with information, no matter how small it might sound.
Because you never know, it could be something that you don't think is important, but it's important.
A family devastated, but one determined to get justice.
Whatever we do together.
Avery Everett, KSAT 12 News.
Help that family heal. Well, a local couple just became $4 million richer following a lawsuit against Jim's Restaurants. Catherine and Chris Anderson at the Jim's location at Broadway and Loop 410 back in 2022 when they were injured by shattered glass from a window at the restaurant. Apparently not the first time. Another window shattered at that same restaurant in 2006. But there's apparently no investigation into that incident.
Remember that beautiful little girl? She's been missing for more than 3 years. And today's her birthday. That's Lena Keel. She would have turned 7 years old today. You may remember that she was the little girl who was last seen in December of 2021 playing on the playground outside of her family's apartment near the medical center. So far, investigators haven't found her or any suspects related to her disappearance. You can read everything that we know about little Lena. It's over on KSAT.com.
A heart disease kills more people in South Central Texas than cancer and accidental deaths.
That's exactly why doctors want you to be intentional about your health. So I'm guessing that you have questions. Well, next Thursday, February 27th, our KSAT community partners, along with University Health, are going to be hosting a live phone bank.
Yeah, it's an opportunity, really. You can call, speak with medical professionals about cardiovascular health at select times between 9 in the morning and 7 at night.
So we invite you to join us and take the first steps towards a healthier you.
Why are they going away? We're going to talk about local breweries and why for some, it's almost last call. Next on the Nightbeat, a look at why some of our favorite bars are closing shop.
Oh, and as we go to the break right now, 34 degrees. We're going to give you a live look outside. Woo! whatever you did today to get ready, said that a moment ago, do it again tomorrow and maybe through the weekend. Our Adam Caskey is going to join us in a few minutes with your full forecast. Welcome back. So next time you look around for a local brewery, I want you to take notice of something.
Yeah, there's an unfortunate trend of beer makers closing, scaling back, and in some cases, filing for bankruptcy. The Night Team's John Paul Barajas sat down with the owner of Breakaway Brewery to talk about what challenges the industry is facing.
This is rich, delicious, nutritious, diverse, and all the various possibilities.
Beer connoisseurs know the difference between craft and domestic brews.
You can drink a Bud Light, but it's like drinking water. That's not real beer.
Which is why it pains these gentlemen to know breweries in the San Antonio area are currently hurting.
Years ago, it looked like there was a new brewery almost at every corner, or essentially popping up at every corner. That's not the way things are going right now.
No, it's not.
Owner of Breakaway Brewery, Chris Powell Freeman, says he thinks that hospitality as a whole has taken a hit due to the economy and an increased price of goods.
We are a brewery and a gastropub, so we're actually seeing it on both fronts. I'm seeing it in my kitchen costs as well as my brewing costs.
From March of 2024 to February of this year, the 210 and surrounding areas have seen at least 7 breweries close and or scale back. At the beginning of the month, Alamo Beer Company filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, though they say they are trying to stay afloat. Back in November, Freetail Brewing Company stopped their retail distribution, just to name a few.
There was a brewery that opened before me, then there was me, and then 2 others follow, and it was like, 3 weeks a month, 3 weeks a month. One of those breweries isn't around anymore, and we've lost some other breweries that were pretty well established before I was.
Powell Freeman reflected on how much can change in a few years' time and explains they've had to adjust themselves.
My core beers were 5-barrel batches, and then all my other beers were 3-barrel batches, and now I'm just sticking with 3-barrel batches and brewing a little more often. And it's the balance of ROI.
His return on investment, or ROI, has paid off so far as he's continued to make money.
We still have constant growth, but it's just the scale of the growth is not what the forecasting and the projections were.
So how can beer enthusiasts or those who want to support local businesses help? Well, find and go enjoy a brewery.
What you guys are drinking today?
I'm drinking a cream ale, and it is delicious.
I'm drinking the Berm, which is a dark, but it's interesting because it's very smooth.
I've already had the Surly Midnight, so.
It looks like you hated it.
You can go home now, Mark. It was quite good.
John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
All right, and the good thing about beer is that it doesn't matter what the weather's like outside. You can drink it regardless. I know that we have certainly a beer connoisseur here.
Hey, I'm a home brewer. I enjoy doing that.
That's true.
I love the science and the chemistry behind brewing. That's what's so fascinating to me. And
makes total sense because it fits right into your weather background.
It does. And like that gentleman said, delicious and nutritious.
Not nutritious.
Yeah, okay.
We still have to be factual here.
You're right.
I know you like
Somebody said maybe nutritious for the soul.
Yeah, that's nutritious for the soul. We've all come to that agreement.
We've got a lot of weather to talk about, though, still.
You're right, we do. We have a little bit of a wintry mix possible coming our way, but very light in nature and really overall insignificant, more of a gee whiz factor. So a few sleet pellets possible tomorrow. A quick little ting, ting, ting on the windshield, but kind of like yesterday in spots where it was like, what just happened? Not a big deal, not going to get in the way of your daily plans. Now, Friday evening, 6 p.m. Friday to 10 a.m. Saturday, some passing very light freezing drizzle impacting mainly the elevated surfaces in the usual locations, northern Bexar County, Hill Country, but also even into Guadalupe County as well. Basically along and north of Highway 90 is where we have the highest potential of that. Street signs, parked vehicles, decks, patio furniture, metal fences, that kind of thing could have a very light glaze. In the Hill Country, a small chance of localized icing on some of the side streets. But we are talking very, very light and minor accumulations. I think it would take a really smooth roadway for any real big slick spots to really come to fruition. Look at this little swirl near Denver. That's part of what we have going here. That's going to be, it's an upper level low. It's going to be dropping toward us. And as it does so, it's going to help develop a coastal low pressure system. And as it does that, most of the rain and precip will be closer to the coastline Friday into Saturday, but still on the outer edge here. Look at 9 o'clock tomorrow. Maybe a few little dots on the radar screen of a quick little burst of sleet, which is basically a frozen raindrop, but these would be frozen sprinkle drops more than anything. We get through the day tomorrow, passing sprinkles as we cool off again tomorrow evening and tomorrow night. A little bit of that freezing drizzle here and there, not for everybody, mainly hill country, northern Bexar County, and into Guadalupe County as well. And you look at the futurecast, I mean, it's not showing a whole lot at any given time, isolated, brief. And then Saturday by 10 a.m., we should warm up enough to where it would just be the liquid variety of sprinkles, very light rain. So accumulations, a few hundredths of an inch is what we're looking at. Here's a look at the ice potential in pink, and it's so faint because it's very light on that legend there. But we're talking a few hundredths of an inch here and there, and again, mainly on the elevated surfaces. I know TxDOT was out doing their thing, doing a good job today. You see those white stripes down the roadways? That's the brine, and on the bridges and overpasses. And in this kind of situation especially, that pre-treatment's going to go a long way and should really do its job. Drought monitor, it's in. No improvements for us, no surprise there. Unfortunately, we don't have the good drought denting rain on the way. Across the state, it's West Texas, and it's here. That's where we have the worst drought. So today, this morning, let's talk temperatures. 21, that was a new record low by 5 degrees. 37 for the afternoon high. It has been as hot as 97 on this day back in 1986. And cold again because of the low clouds were so stubborn, and they're going to be stubborn again tomorrow. So 29 in the morning, only 35 in the afternoon. Jacket weather all day, every day, tomorrow and Saturday. And then Sunday we start to warm up a little bit, back in the lower 60s. So tomorrow afternoon, we should get into the low to mid 40s west of town. Uvalde 40, Carrizo Springs 41, Del Rio potentially up to 46. The whiplash comes over the weekend, 39 Saturday, 62 on Sunday. So yes, some big changes headed our way just over the weekend. And then next week, in true Texas fashion, we're back near 80 degrees with vast sunshine. So just a little hiccup here late Friday into early Saturday. Again, travel impacts little to very minimal, and mainly in parts of the hill country, potentially just on those side streets or even, your driveway, the less traveled roadways, but not much for accumulation.
I love this.
Yeah, we had to save some time for Lucy. Okay, so Lucy, looking into the space heater, staying warm, refuses to wear anything, also will not tolerate being covered, like with a blanket. Blow dryer after her bath, no way. But she sure knows where the on switch is on the space heater. And she swipes at it with her paw every time she comes in when it's cold out.
Lucy is particular.
I love Lucy.
All right.
Oh, it's so good. A lot of good pet photos bundled up today on KSAT Connect.
Thank you for setting those in, too. Thank you.
All right, so I guess, the remaining Spurs without Victor Wembanyama, they didn't get the text message today. They were supposed to win this game tonight.
And they're playing pretty inspired basketball, probably because of Wemby. Want to play well for your teammate. Coming up, Mitch Johnson talks more about Vic's long-term health, saying there's no concern, which is great news. And the South San Boys basketball team, they are having a stellar season coming up.
This is not a long-term concern from the medical experts for his general health or basketball activities related.
That is good news when it comes to the health of Victor Wembanyama and big board sports. The Spurs are hosting the Suns right now. They're doing so without Victor Wembanyama, who's going to miss the rest of the regular season. Vic is dealing with a deep vein thrombosis in his right shoulder, which occurs when a blood clot forms in one of the deep veins in the body. Now, we saw Victor in NBA All-Star Weekend in the San Francisco Bay Area. And aside from the skills contest, Wemby certainly put on a show despite not feeling his best. Now, it's being reported that Vic was experiencing low energy levels lately, causing him concern. Following his 2 days off after the All-Star game, nothing changed.
This is what I can say. After All-Star break, Victor felt his arm didn't feel completely normal. That was articulated to our medical staff. They looked into it, and that's how we got here. Anything earlier than that is grasping at straws. I don't know what is or what isn't, but
I don't know whether it's genetic or whether it was caused by an injury or a blow.
No. I can say this, all of our players were tired and sick and shortness of breath and worn out before the All-Star break.
The first concern is for Wemby's health. Basketball doesn't matter. And when it comes to his long-term health, Coach Johnson and the Spurs were given positive news.
I can say this, yes, the medical experts and the people that are smarter than everybody in the room have said, obviously, and confirmed that he will be done this year, and that there is no concern for Victor's long-term health personally or anything related to his basketball activities, and that there is no reasons to not believe that he won't be ready to go for the start of next season.
As for this season, Coach said there's a good amount of optimism that center Charles Bassey will be good to go tomorrow. He will need to test out his knee and get it fully cleared, and that it's trending in the right way. Bassey suffered a left MCL sprain a little over 3 weeks ago. Now the Spurs tipped off the I-35 series with the Suns tonight. Bismack Biyombo starting at center for Wemby. First quarter, the Spurs scored the first 8 points, capped off by this Harrison Barnes corner three. Later on, Jeremy Sohan drives the lane with no resistance at all for an easy slam, and it's 15-7 Spurs. Cue up De'Aaron Fox for a three ball. That's good. Then Fox steals the pass, and he feeds Stephon Castle for a Moody slam dunk. The Spurs led after one, 31-21 and 60-54 at halftime. And at last check, the Spurs were leading the Suns 94-79 at the end of three. We'll have more tomorrow at 5 and 6. Zach Martin is retiring after a decorated career that included 7 All-Pro seasons at right guard with the Dallas Cowboys, per multiple reports. Martin informed Cowboys owner and general manager Jerry Jones of his decision in a meeting today. The 34-year-old Martin didn't make it through his 11th and final season with the Cowboys because of an ankle injury that eventually required surgery. Before training camp last year in Oxnard, California, he hinted that he might hang up the cleats. The South Sound Boys basketball team, they are by district champions after